Hi guys, so this is my fourth vlog for Informatics 645 at Mercer University, and in this week's discussion is about the Internal Review Board, also known as IRB, and it is a board that is composed of people from different research backgrounds that come together and they review and give approval for different research projects. And in order for you to do any type of research, your plan and your research proposal has to be viewed by the IRB, and you have to fill out an application to the IRB. There are many different internal review boards, but for this week's discussion, I used the example of the IRB at the University of Texas at Austin. I looked at their application, and three of the most important parts of the application I felt like were the proposal for the application, the consent portion of the application, and the process for getting the decision for the application. So the proposal portion of it is just basically an overview part of the application. You just giving an overview of what your research is going to be about, what your plan is, and how you plan on going about doing your research, conducting your research, and just any information that goes along with your research or any risk that could be associated with your research or any benefits. Just an overall basic overview of the research you'll be conducting. So then the consent portion is if you're using human subjects in your study, you have to get consent from those subjects. So you have to get a form and get written consent from them, and on the consent form it'll just basically describe what the study is, what they'll be doing, the risks associated with the study, the benefits associated with the study, what they'll gain from it, just so they'll have an overall view of what will be going on as participants in the study. So if you're using human subjects, you cannot do the study at all without having their informed consent, and that's just basically giving you as a researcher permission to use them and their information in the study. And the last portion that I thought was important was the decision aspect of it, like how the review board decides whether or not your research could be done. So they look at it and determine whether or not it's high risk or low risk, and preferably low risk, because that just means that not it won't be a lot of risk associated for the participants in the study. So those that are low risk or exempt, those will be processed first, and then all the rest of the research applications, they'll be reviewed on a monthly basis by the entire review board, and they'll go over them and decide on an approval and approve them from that point on. And so, for example, if you're doing research on information that comes out from an electronic medical record or electronic health record, it is important for the review board and for the application that you do have that consent form for those people whose medical information you're using, and also you have to maintain confidentiality with using their information, which means that they could be identified, but you as the researcher don't give their identity. Or you could keep it anonymous, and that just means that is no way the subject can be identified by you, the researcher, or by anybody else.